show you that I know you won't tell what I said, 'cause two can keep a secret if one of them is dead.
Hey, happy Halloween! My name's Miss Fortunate, and today I'm going to be talking about some nightmares that I've had. You see, the thing is, like, there are some people who have nightmares that are, like, really freaky, but, like, I haven't ever really had a nightmare that scared the actual crap out of me before, so, I don't know, I think this will be kind of fun, because, like, I write down all of my dreams that I remember vividly, and I have them all in this, Word document right now. So I'm just gonna read through and, read through what I wrote, what I remember of them, and whatever. Ooh, I think I'm also going to go and like look up the meanings of them, just because it could be fun, I don't know. The first one, I have the date on them too, but the first one is from November 16th of 2015. Oh boy, so that was, I mean, not too long ago, I guess, but I'll just read through this. I had a nightmare where I was in a library and I noticed, okay, just pause. Okay, I wrote all of these, like, the second I woke up so that I didn't forget them, so the odds of these being very well written out is very low, so, okay, back to this. I had a nightmare where I was in a library and I noticed this one girl picking on another girl. I know exactly what dream this is, and what a way to start the video. This one girl was picking on another girl, saying mean things and hitting her, so I stepped in and told her to stop. She went outside with the girl, and I peeked out and they were hugging, but when I peeked out again I saw her punching her, so I went over and started beating her up. Somehow I turned her into a Spongebob drawing. This is where things got weird. Then she started talking calmly about death and graves. I went to throw it away, but she turned into a Spongebob chair and she said, "You know who I am." Then the voice got really deep and freaky and the eyes got really wide and the pupils got huge and scary, and it said, "But do you know who I am inside?" And I dropped it in the trash and woke up terrified. Okay, I don't think that the writing of this captured the entire image of this, okay? So basically I saw this girl being mean to this other girl, and for some reason they were like in the one cafe from Friends too, just a random little detail, but so they were being mean and I was like, "Hey, back off, bitch," and then they went outside and I was like, "Oh good, they're friends, whatever," but then they were, you know, beating up on each other, and the girl turned into a drawing, which I don't remember exactly what it looked like, but then the chair was like hovering over the trash can and it was like all yellow and it had all the little holes like SpongeBob and stuff, and it was so weird. It was like a little kid chair and it was just hovering over the trash can. And then I turned into SpongeBob, and like it was a normal SpongeBob. It was just like his face, and he was just like staring into space or something, and he was like in this dark black abyss or something, and it was so weird. And like the voice wasn't like SpongeBob's voice; it was like a normal guy voice. But then like, I swear to God, like whenever he was like, "But do you know who I am inside?" it was like his voice got like really low and like demonic and shit, and it was so freaky. I was so freaked out. But anyway, I've told this story so many times to all of my friends because this is by far the weirdest dream that I've ever had that I can remember, and it is so important. Hair just chilling. I'm gonna look up the dream dictionary and see if I can find out what the fuck is happening here. I'll look up bullying, maybe? Okay, bully. So to dream that you are a bully, oh no, never mind. To see a bully or be bullied in your dream signifies repressed rage. The bully may be seen as your shadow self, which you have rejected. Oh? Okay, I mean, this was back in 2015, so who the hell knows? Okay, let's look up SpongeBob. I wonder if SpongeBob will be in this. Okay, I have sponge. To see or use a sponge in your dream suggests that you are receptive and are able to easily absorb new knowledge and information. The dream may also be a metaphor that you are sponging off someone or that someone is sponging off you. What the fuck does that mean? Perhaps you are becoming too dependent and need to find your own path. So I'm becoming dependent and I have repressed rage. I don't know, mate. Anyway, okay. So the next story that I have is from September 21st of 2015. Okay, so these are not in order. I think they're backwards, actually. Yeah, they're backwards. Okay. Alright, so it starts off as, I just had a terrible dream. I was driving and I went to the store to get stuff before school and I parked outside. But when I came back out, my car was towed, so I went to get it. But my parents were so pissed, so they wouldn't pay for it, so I had to. Oh God. Rest in peace. And it had parking things on it and had a grenade that would go off when it moved. And my friend was there. I'm not going to say their name. But my friend was there. And we got in for some reason. I was messing around and I accidentally started driving. And there were 2 kids inside as well as me. Oh man, I remember this one. I know where it's going. Me and I told them to jump out, but they couldn't. And I tried to jump out with them, but they didn't. And the car exploded. And I got arrested and started crying hysterically, screaming. And they had used a taser because I wouldn't stop. So anyway, just back thing, like the friend that was in here, I'm embarrassed to say that, like, this, when was this? This was back in, like, sophomore year, I think, and I had this huge crush on this person, like, just saying, so that's probably what made this dream a little bit worse, because they basically went and, like, exploded in this car. Yeah, all I really remember from this one is that I got, like, really upset, and I was, like, freaking out in my dream, and I woke up and I was like, oh. Let's look up a crash. To dream that you are in a car crash indicates that your beliefs, lifestyle, or goals are clashing with another's. It may also represent a shocking situation or painful experience. Alternatively, car crashes may forewarn of your dangerous or careless driving habits. Whew. Boy, two years in the past and they're warning me. They're warning me. In particular, if a car crashes into you, that didn't happen. So my beliefs and shit are clashing into each other. Alright, cool. Explosion, page 2. To see explosions in your dreams symbolizes repressed anger. Was I an angry person in 2015? This is the second time that I've had repressed anger. The rage that you've been holding in has come to the surface. In a forceful and violent manner, your subconscious is trying to get your attention. So I was full of rage my sophomore year. I can see it actually. June 17th of 2015. And this one's pretty short, but it starts off as, I had a creepy ass nightmare that me and my friend were chasing this ghost that whispered and whistled a certain tune and was killing people. And the tune that they were whispering was Rue's song. And I went out to find it, and literally the second I stepped outside, I heard the whistle, and I freaked out and ran back inside to tell my friend, and then I woke up. So this one actually, I had this dream, and I was like, hey, this would be a cool story, so I want to write a story about this eventually, but basically, I'm not sure, like, yeah, the idea of this wasn't really, specified in this writing, but basically, like, whenever it was kind of like a banshee thing, like, whenever you hear a banshee scream, you're gonna die or something. But basically, it was like anyone who heard this whistling sound knew they were gonna get murdered next. So that was kind of the basis of the story. And yeah, so I think for this one I'm gonna look up whistle and murderer. To hear a whistle in your dreams represents a warning. There is something that requires your immediate attention. Alternatively, a whistle marks an end to a period of time or phase in your life. To dream that you have committed murder means putting an end to an old habit, but it's not me. To dream that you witness a murder, I guess that's closest to, like, knowing that someone's going to be murdered, but to dream that you witness a murder indicates deep-seated anger. What was happening in 2015 that was making me so pissed off? Consider how the victim represents aspects of yourself that you want to destroy or eliminate. Ooh, actually, I get that one. Another one that was in June 13th, 2015, I had a dream that my friend, the same friend that was in my other nightmare, was in China and the government kidnapped her so they could make a point of their power, and my dad was involved and he was talking about it, and I'm screaming on the phone at them. I'm freaking out at my dad. And my dad was talking about how they were going to kill her and I was so scared. Okay, so this is another of my friends. This is a different friend from before, the one that I had a crush on. However, I did have a crush on this friend too, and we actually, dated for a bit. Anyway, for this one, I'm gonna look up kidnapping in China. Okay, so China isn't on here. So let's just look up kidnapping. The dream that someone has been kidnapped indicates that you are not letting aspects and characteristics of that person to be expressed within you. You are trying to contain and or suppress the qualities of the kidnapped person. This one is from May 22nd, 2015. So it starts, there was an evolving bug thing that had once been something that did something to me and my mom. I can't remember what. Weird. And someone told me that Grandpa had done something that made this bug able to evolve in its lifetime, and it could do anything. It evolved from this thing to a yellow jumping bug. I went to tell my mom, but the bug was there and it jumped on me and it wouldn't get off, and then I woke up. Okay, so that makes no sense. But I hate bugs, so I mean, go to page 5 and look up bug. To see a bug in your dreams suggests that you are worried about something. It is symbolic of your anxieties and or fears. What is bugging you? Consider also the popular phrase bitten by the bug to imply your strong emotional ties or involvement to some activity, interest, or hobby. Alternatively, the bug may be representative of your sexual thoughts. That's weird. Alright, chill. And then this last one, it's from August 29th, 2016. Okay, so we've evolved from 2015. This is quite a long one. Oh boy. I have to go to school soon. Shit, okay. Starts off, I had a bad dream that started when I was in my room. I think I was with a friend, but they kind of disappeared. Mom grabbed me and made me go to the bathroom. It was storming, but also sunny at the same time. Dad called me and asked if I was okay, but I couldn't understand what he was saying. I could hear people yelling and panicking in the background. I asked Mom why we were downstairs when it was sunny out, and she said a really bad wall storm was about to hit us. My 2 brothers stayed upstairs because they wanted to play games. I peeked out the window and saw a huge wall of storm clouds really close to our house. It was spinning and it was a tornado, and it came closer and closer, then it hit us. The entire room shook and the cement ceiling came crashing down on us. Somehow I survived. I thought my 2 brothers did too because they were on top and not underneath. I woke up at school and I walked to my brother's school, but from the opposite direction. I saw him walking to my car like always, and I went to go in his building. When he saw me, he looked annoyed but came back. This part is a little blurry, and basically I was in a dark building with 7 floors. I started on the ground floor, then went to the top, and went down one by one. I went to a place and preschool kids were being lined up, and I joined. Then I went to a shop that was Walmart inside this building. I got glasses, a really cheap pair of shoes that were only $1, and some other things. The cashier said they don't serve poor people here, and I was like, this is Walmart. Jesus Christ, I'm savage. She rung up my stuff, but I only had $5, so I put everything back except something for my mom and the shoes. And she did it again. It cost more, and she was adding stuff to my pile. I don't know what happened next, but later I was running from some monsters or something, and I got in an elevator to go to a lower floor, but the elevator broke. I buckled into a thing in the wall, and as the elevator fell 7 stories. When it fell, I passed out. I woke up and I heard the monsters calling out like raptors in Jurassic Park. Then I saw 3 go near the elevator and were looking for me. They had red heads without eyes and really sharp teeth. They were short, they were kind of like the flowers in Mario, but still kind of freaky how they were looking at me. Also, at some point I called someone, probably the cashier, and they told me Obama was on the top floor with some survivors, who were locked in a room surrounded by guards protecting them from the monsters. But Obama wanted other people who survived dead. I thought the higher floors were safer because less monsters, but I was wrong because Obama wanted me dead. That's all I remember. That was a lot. I'm going to look up storm first. To see a storm in your dream signifies some overwhelming struggle, shock, loss, or catastrophe in your waking life. The storm also represents unexpressed fear or emotions, such as anger. Anger again. I'm such an angry person. On a more positive note, the storm symbolizes your rising spirituality. It may signal rapid changes ahead for you. To a dream that you take cover in a storm foretells that whatever disturbance or problems is occurring in your life will quickly blow over. Chill. What else? Let's look up dinosaurs. To see a dinosaur in your dream symbolizes an outdated attitude. You may need to discard your old ways of thinking and habits. To dream that you're being chased by a dinosaur indicates your fears of no longer being needed or useful. Alternatively, being chased by a dinosaur may reflect old issues that are still coming back to haunt you. Ooh, to see dinosaurs mating in your dream, that did not happen. But, anyway, that was the last one on this paper. However, great for you guys, or something, I don't know. But I had a nightmare last night. I mean, it wasn't really a nightmare. None of these were actually, like, scary to me. Like, I think the scariest ones were the ones that something bad happened to the people that I loved. But even then, it's not, like, scary. It's more, like, heartbreaking. But, anyway, let's read this. I had a nightmare that me and my family went to a bunch of haunted places, one of them being an old cabin in the woods. It was old and dusty and had a lot of spiderwebs, and it was really creepy. We got there and my family decided they wanted to go out and do something, so they left me there by myself. I didn't like the idea because I was already feeling spooked, but I stayed away. stayed anyway. After a while, though, it got worse. I didn't see any actual ghosts, but I kept seeing things out of the corner of my eye. I went into the basement and it was dark, and I had this awful feeling like anxiety and fear. I had my music on so that hopefully it would distract me. However, I think it made me more scared because now I couldn't hear anything, and if something was coming or happening, all I could do was see. Still, nothing really happened, but I had had enough. I was wearing a spring dress and high heels, so I changed shoes and got a jacket and I went outside. I couldn't stay in the house anymore. My family was coming back finally, and with them there were hundreds of wasps. They made fun of me a little for being afraid, even though nothing was happening, and we all went inside. Later in the dream, I somehow found a piece of wood that had the name Camp Haven carved into it, being the name of the cabin. I asked my family about it, and I was like, this is Camp Haven, but then I woke up. So this, I don't know what was going on. But yeah, I had that dream last night. I woke up and I still had like that fear, not fear. I woke up and I still felt like really anxious. Like I had that feeling of being anxious, like in my chest and stuff, and it was really weird. But it was weird because like I'm pretty sure I had other nightmares like before that, but I can't remember anything about them, so I have no idea. But anyway, and after the dream, I actually looked up Camp Haven and tried to figure out like if it was like telling me something or whatever. I was hoping there was gonna be something like spooky or haunted or something weird that was close to me, and it's like, oh man, it's a sign. But really, all I found was this one ministry that it like came up with this camp for like turning kids from crime into Christians or something. And then the other thing that I found was a camp that provided supportive living opportunities and education to people who were homeless and wanted to not be homeless anymore. So I'm not sure if this is like someone saying, hey, be religious and go help homeless people or something. I don't know, but anyway, those are all of my nightmares for now. I have had more nightmares than the ones that I told you about today, that I remember from like my childhood, so that could be another video for another time. Leave this video a like if you think that would be a cool video to see. I've got some reoccurring nightmares I've had, and I've had some weird dreams, and I don't know, I just have a lot of weird dreams and stuff, and I also have like childhood dreams that I remember too. So let me know about that. Tell me in the comments what you think is wrong with me that I'm having all these weird dreams. But that's it. I have to go to school. I'm gonna be late, so thanks for watching and happy Halloween. Lights out.
Keep my glass full until moonlight, 'cause I'm just holding on for tonight.